Hello, good afternoon, Professor Carl Schramm. He's a professor in Syracuse University. He's a former CEO of Kauffman Foundation. He's an entrepreneur himself and also an investor. Welcome to the University Industry Interaction Conference. Welcome to Barcelona. Entrepreneurs. Are they born entrepreneurs, or can we make someone who wasn't born as an entrepreneur as one?
I'm smiling because that question is asked to me constantly. The clever answer back is to say that's the wrong question. But I think that the answer is some people have a proclivity to go start things. We see that in some people early on as children, that they want to go start, they want to go explore the new. Here's what I think. That's sort of like an innovative impulse. Teaching how to start a business is very teachable. So whether someone has it when they're born, I think people are born innovators. I'm not sure they're born entrepreneurs. Entrepreneuring can be taught. It's the skill or competency of starting a new business. Having the great spark of an idea, that's a different thing. That's innovating.
Mm-hmm. So when do you think entrepreneurship education should start?
I think entrepreneurship education should merely be an exposure. No one should study it unless they're about to start a business. To teach it outside the context of really starting a business. So for example, in a university, to teach it to everyone who may be 20 who takes a class in it, the requirement ought to be, are you about to start a business? Because it's not the same thing as studying world history. It's a pragmatic subject that when you're starting a business, you should know what the metes and bounds of the subject are. But if you're not in the starting of a business, there's really no interest, there's no really importance to teaching it.
And that's related to something that you mentioned in your presentation, that you are an investor and you created 6 companies yourself, but you never did a business plan. And now my question is, how do you do it?
I think it's the way most businesses start. If you think about it, the majority of businesses never had a business plan. There was never a business plan for Twitter, for example, or for Facebook, or for Microsoft or Apple. Business plans aren't the natural part of it. And if you think about it, this will sound a little funny, as I said in my speech. Oh, you want to start a business? Fine. The first thing you'll have to do is write a 60-page essay. It's got nothing to do with being a great writer, okay? If you want to start a successful business, you should start a successful business and poke along at it. If you have to write something for investors, then you have to write something that looks like a business plan. But most people don't get that far along very quickly. I think about it in 2 ways, being an American. The first thing you should write is like the Declaration of Independence. Okay, I'm no longer me, I'm me and my company. Actually, this is my company, and this is what it's about. It's really it's an independence from you into the objectification of an idea. And then later on, when you've stabilized what the vision of this is, because most businesses jump around a lot, you're not quite sure who the customer is, for instance, okay? But when it starts to congeal, then you write the Constitution. Okay, these are the rules of the business. This is what the business really is. This is what we do, and this is how we work. Business plan at the beginning, you could ask thousands of entrepreneurs if they would ever do one, if they would ever write one. They'd all tell you, no, it's silly. Let's get down to business.
Okay. Interesting approach. After having seen many business school teaching that, business plans. But yeah, really interesting. Something else. I was wondering, how do you think that the relationship or the interaction between universities and businesses can improve, enhance entrepreneurship and innovation?
Well, I have a different view of that. I think most of the time when people comment on this, they always talk about how the university can do better talking to business. Now, the reality is, and I explained this today in my theory of innovation, most innovations come out of businesses. They don't come out of universities. The lion's share come out of businesses. And in a sense, the person who ought to activate the conversation and run the conversation should be the businesses. So they should be putting the questions to the universities. And I think many universities try much too hard to be in this conversation with business as if they have to prove how relevant they are. And they would do so much better, like so many things in life, if they did what they're good at. They did research, they did good teaching, they produced great students, And they would land in good jobs, and they would communicate back to their university, to the professors who were doing new things. So in a sense, I actually see this as sort of picking the stick up from the other end. The side of this equation that doesn't do so well are the businesses. They should learn how to talk university talk, not universities learn how to talk business talk, because it's much, much harder for the university to do that. And the businesses have so much to offer by way of giving direction to and asking the universities to come along on the journey they're already into.
So, just to finish, I would like to thank you again for your presentation today. Thanks for your participation in the University Industry Interaction Conference, and I hope you enjoy sunny Barcelona. Thank you very much.
On exactly where this innovation comes from. And this is central if we want more new businesses